Hello everyone, and a very happy new year from me here at Andy's Shed, and welcome to a brand new series. We're into season 8. How good is that? Yeah, hello everybody, welcome to the show. Just a little bit late there today, YouTube giving us hassle again, trying to get the stream up and running. So what's new there? Absolutely nothing new there, really, is there? But we've made it here, and we're sort of here now. And I can see one or two people already here in the chat. Dominic's here, Jimmy's here, Fat Hobbit's here, Christopher's here. All the usual suspects, basically. So happy New Year to all of you, and wherever you may be in the world. Yeah, Jim says Happy New Year. Hobbit says hello, Andy. Christopher says hi, Andy. Hi there, Christopher. Did anybody other than me see Christopher's live stream on New Year's Eve? Of course, Chris is in Australia, so he gets New Year before any of the rest of us. And New Year's Eve, he set off his air raid siren, and he did do it. I made him promise to do it, and he did do it. Credit to him, so well done for that, Christopher. We very much enjoyed the air raid siren. It's on his channel, Christopher 2000, on YouTube, if you want to go and have a look at it. I think the stream will still be up there, so go and have a look at the air raid siren going off on New Year's Eve. And there was a bit of model railway stuff on there as well. It was lunchtime here. It was middle of the night there. It was lunchtime here, because of course we're on the opposite side sort of thing to Australia. So yeah, it was good though. It was really good. I'd almost forgot it was New Year's Eve till he did that as well, because it's been a bit of a strange New Year this year. Fat Hobbit says he saw the live stream. It was brilliant. It was, wasn't it? What I want to know, Chris, is did the neighbours come round after you set the air raid siren off at midnight? That's what I want to know. Yeah. What are you doing? What's that noise? Absolutely brilliant. They would have here. They must be more tolerant in Australia than they are here. Right, so here we are. It's a new year. People say 2021 is going to be better than 2020. I'm not so sure, to be quite honest with you. It's not starting very well here. So I'm not terribly sure that 2021 is going to be better than 2020 at all. I do not know. But there are one or two things that are good about 2021 already. One of the things that's good about it already is I've had some photos sent to me. This is Christopher again, who's he's been a bit busy. I think. Hang on. Oh, there we are. He's been a bit busy out there in Australia. Now, bear in mind, he's in Australia. How does he get this many British phones in Australia? Shall we go to it? Better late than never. Yeah, he's got all these British phones, and he's kindly labelled them for me as well. So he's got a 334, 162, 312. This strange Ericsson thing, the N1671 with all the extensions on it. That you would have had it in an office. A grey one. I've never seen a grey one before. That's very unusual. All the ones that I've ever seen of those have been generally black, very occasionally ivory. So that is very unusual, a grey one. It's got a 746, of course, back there. The obligatory ivory 746. And a 706L. And that 706 he's got back there looks like a very early one with a dial 12 on it. Could it be? It could. And an Ericsson N1970B at the front there as well, which of course is a 706 clone. So quite a nice collection there. It's an amazing collection considering how far away you are, Christopher. It's amazing that all those British phones have made it over to Australia, because not many, if any, Australian phones make it over to Britain. It doesn't seem to work the other way around. What does he say? It says no, he says nobody came around to arrest him for letting the siren off at midnight. But he did hear a lot of police sirens half an hour later, after he sounded his siren. Were they coming for you? No, it was good. It was really good, the air siren. Really, really good. So, was it? And it was an all clear you sounded as well. Actually, technically, wasn't it? It wasn't an air raid you sounded. It wasn't a. It wasn't a continuous tone. It wasn't all clear that you did, which I suppose was correct, really, because it was, wasn't it? So, yeah. So that was rather good. That was the highlight of my New Year's Eve. So yeah, that was brilliant. By the way, if anybody's not seen it already on YouTube, have a look for the London Firework display. It was particularly good this year, after they said they weren't going to do it. I'll quickly tell you the story of the London Firework display. For those who don't know, every New Year's Eve they have a massive firework display in London. It normally centres around the London Eye, which is the big Ferris wheel that they put up for the new millennium. It normally centres around that, and there's people stand on the other side of the river, hundreds of thousands of people stand on the other side of the river, watch the firework display. This year, because of coronavirus and all this malarkey, they said, oh, we can't have gatherings of people, we're not going to do it, we're not going to do it, we're not going to do it. So I, like millions of others, didn't bother staying up until New Year, because I thought, oh, it's not going to be on the telly, because it's normally on the telly on BBC One. Thought it's not going to be on TV, nothing's happening, they're not doing it. Turns out they did do it. They told us all they weren't doing it, but then they did do it, and not only did they do it, they did it better than they've ever done it before. They launched stuff off the top of the Shard, which is the tallest building, they launched stuff off Tower Bridge, they launched stuff off the top of Wembley Stadium, above the Millennium Dome, or the O2 Arena as they call it now. They'd got a drone show with hundreds upon hundreds of illuminated drones making moving pictures in the sky. It was quite a sight to see. It's up on YouTube if you want to have a look at it. It's worth a look at. It's about 10 minutes long. So yeah, it is worth a look. That is, if you want to have a look. Another thing that's worth a look at, if you want, is our website, of course. It's still there as it always is. andyshed.coldpress.net is the place to go to for our website, and that's the place to go to get in touch with us as well. You'll find a contact form on there, yada yada yada. You've heard all this before. Why do I say it every week? You've heard it all before, haven't you? I'm getting like one of those rubbish YouTubers now that always says click like and click the bell icon and click subscribe and click the Patreon thing, and oh my god. Who's also getting fed up with the ads on YouTube? Hands up. I watched a 5-minute video today with 3 ad breaks in it. So I now have installed an ad blocker on my computer for the first time ever. I used to put up with the YouTube ads when they didn't have many of them, so I watched the occasional ad, and so YouTube made a bit of money out of it. Now I don't watch any ads because they've put so many on now. I've got totally fed up with them and I've put an ad blocker on. I advise you to do the same. Right, what have we got on the show today? Well, we've got all sorts on. I've been a bit busy over Christmas. Of course, like everybody else, you sort of sit down over Christmas, don't do a lot of anything, can't go anywhere, can't see anybody. So what do? You end up on eBay. So 1 or 2 things have arrived off eBay over Christmas. One of the things that's arrived off eBay this Christmas is another trim phone. No, I tell a lie, this didn't arrive off eBay. This arrived off Etsy. The first thing I've ever brought off Etsy. You know, Etsy, E-T-S-Y. This is the first thing I've ever bought off Etsy. I think it was about 13 quid on Etsy, something like that. So it's arrived. It needs a service. It's a bit slow moving and that. But we've had a thing about trim phones, haven't we, over the last few weeks, about how many cords there are between the boards on the trim phone, between the 2 boards inside the trim phone. So we'll open that one up at some point in the not too distant future and have a look, and we'll see how many wires there are between the 2 boards in that one. Also, I've had another box arrive as well. I've got to get a bit further away from the camera to do this. Hang on, because it's a big box. So we've had this box arrive. Now, I've opened it already because although the most annoying thing on YouTube is by far the adverts, the second most annoying thing is unboxing videos that take forever just to take something out of a box. So I thought I can't be bothered with that. So what have we got in this box? Well, we've got one or two interesting things and some not so interesting things as well. One we've got in box, we've got another phone, but look, it's got push buttons on it. But it's got pulse push buttons on it. Can you see that? There's no star and no hash key. If you can see that in the light. So that's interesting for a start. It is a, I'll tell you in a minute, if I drop it if I'm not careful. It is a 764, a 1/764 this, made in 1978, this. So this is one that's got a little battery inside to make the push buttons operate. So we'll be able to have a look inside that at some point. What else have we got in the box here? We've got yet another ivory 746. I don't know how many of these they made, but I feel I've got most of them now. So yeah, yet another ivory 746. This is interesting because it's not gone yellowed. It's not got the suntan that they sometimes get. It's pretty much its original colour, this. But the cords have gone yellow on it. So that's a bit odd to me. Unless it's been fitted with topaz yellow cords for some reason. I can't quite decide. Looking at it, I don't think they are. I think they are actually ivory cords. But the cords have gone funny colour, but the phone hasn't. Then we've got a very uninteresting, modern BT phone, or modern-ish BT phone. This is a, right, let me get this right, this is a Converse 400, apparently. Not terribly exciting, that one. In fact, it's so uninteresting that one, I'm going to put it back in the box. And then something that, these are becoming collectible now. We've got a Viscount, what they call a Viscount, which was one of the early push button phones where they were trying to get people off having dials and trying to get everybody onto push buttons. This is what they gave you a lot of the time, a Viscount. This has got a bit of a suntan. This needs colour restoring. It should be ivory. So that's in the old box there as well. So one or two projects there to get going. Put that lot back down there a minute. Hang on. And it's not all been telephones over Christmas either. Right, what's happening in the chat? Christopher says it was the ray tone on the siren I did. It didn't go up and down though, did it? Or maybe you only did it once. It didn't sound to me as if it went up and down, but I was watching it on my phone because I was having my lunch at the time. So so I was watching it on my phone and the sound's a bit dodgy on my phone. So it might have been my end. Chris says, did you get the picture of the 162 CB war phone I sent in the email? That wasn't in your last email. Was that in the email before the last email, Chris? because you sent me a couple of emails, haven't you? I think that was in the one before, and I had, to be honest, I'd totally forgotten about it until you've just reminded me. So yeah, I think I have got it. I'll show the world next week, if that's all right. Dominic says HRH telephone. Yeah, this one. That one. Why does the Queen have the most boring telephone in the world? There's literally millions of them. Mind you, she's a bit tight, the Queen, you know, isn't she? She famously has a mismatching breakfast set because she won't buy a new one and stuff like that. Chris says yes, it was the up and down siren that he did. Must have been me. It must have been my audio at my end. It was a bit stoppy and starty at my end because I wasn't in a good signal place. But yeah, cool. I'll watch it back. It might be better if I watch it back after the event, because sometimes when you watch live streams, if you give Google or YouTube, or well, YouTube is part of Google, but if you give it time to encode the live stream properly, you know, give it sort of 24 hours or so, and then watch it back, provided the person who's put the live stream up has set it that you can watch it after the event, because you can turn it off, so after it's gone live, then nobody can ever see it again. But I normally leave them on, and I notice that these streams, if I try and watch them back, the image quality is better sort of 24 hours later or something, for some reason. It's really strange. It's like YouTube encodes a rubbish version straight off the bat, and then it encodes a better version 24 hours later. It's very odd, but you'll notice the quality is better if you watch stuff back sort of 24 hours after it's happened, rather than say half an hour after it's happened. So yeah, it's a bit strange. I've just noticed I've got this silly top chat on again. Every time I ask this to do live chat, it always switches back to top chat. Right, so there we go. There's the telephones and things that we've got here at the moment. Things have moved around a bit here. I've got like a table at the side of me here now. We've also got a leak. We found there's a leak in the roof here. We found a couple of days ago, and waiting for the plumber to come. So if every now and again you hear a plop, it's because it's dropping into a bucket just off camera here. Right, what else I've got to tell you? We've been busy over the Christmas period. We've been busy with the old 3D printer that you can see over my shoulder over there. That's the one. We've been busy doing that over Christmas. I'll tell you what we've been up to in just a moment. Dominic says, did you see the replica 40s dial label I made for my 232, Andy? Yeah, Dominic, check your emails. You've got an email about it, I think. Yes, Dominic's done a replica dial label for his 232 after I said it looked like the one that he'd got was a fake one. On the phone that he acquired the other week. He got a dial label. It was very, very yellow. It was like too yellow, this dial label. And I see a lot of them, and I think somebody is actually printing sort of pre-yellowed dial labels to make them look original. So Dominic's took it out and put a I guess it must be a reproduction one, but it's a better looking reproduction one. It looks clean and new and proper as it should. It's a different design to what was in it, and I think what he's got now is the correct design. Did you find out, Dominic? Was that original one, that brown yellowy one? Was there any sign that the yellow was either printed on or it had been soaked in tea or anything like that? Did you find anything like that out about it when you took it out? Was it like pristine white printer paper on the back and all yellowy on the front? Because that's what they usually are when they're a bit funny. Chris says you don't see a GPO 232 wall phone and a 162 wall phone very often. They're a bit rare. They are a bit rare. They are very rare. In fact, I imagine they're even rarer in Australia. But yeah, they're rare here too. You don't. Wall phones in general, and the dial era are quite rare here. Things like 711s and 741s hanging on the wall were relatively rare here. There must be, I would say 20 or 30 maybe desk phones made for every wall phone, at least, from what I see hanging around these days. So yeah, there's something about it. I've just noticed this Queen phone that I've got here. Just noticed there's something odd about this. Can you see? There's a big gap there. So I'm just going to take that off and see what's going on in there. Absolutely nothing's going on. It's exactly as you would expect it to be. So, maybe it just wasn't screwed on far enough. Yep, that's it. That's better. That tells me that somebody has messed with it because that wasn't screwed on properly. Right, I'll put that to one side. Dominic says he reckons his dial label was original, as the old label is yellowed evenly across the whole label, but he made a new one anyway, as that's the design from the 50s apparently. It says he read that the 999 number replaced 0 during the 1950s when the dial label design was red lettering was introduced. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that, Dominic. I don't know for certain. I'm not terribly up on dial labels, but I think you're probably right about that, because you used to dial 0 for the operator, of course, and you just dialed the operator to get the emergency services, because it was all live operators. And right up until, I believe, the 1960s, there were places where phones didn't have dials. You just picked your phone up and spoke to the operator, and can you connect me to such and such a number, please? Thank you very much. There's a little place just down the road here, a few miles down the road here, a place called Clown with an E on the end of it. And I've read stuff about the telephone exchange there, which is now a private house. But basically, it was a private house with a switchboard in the front room, and a team of girls that worked in shifts that went round to this house, and also the people that lived there did it for a while, and sort of sat in the front room manning the switchboard, putting the cords in the switchboard, Hong Kong Phooey style, if you remember your 70s cartoons. Christopher says the PMG 891 wall phones are rare. Yeah, I think all wall phones are rare by comparison to their desk mounted variety. I think it's a general thing. They don't make so many to hang on the wall. Of course, the beauty of these things is that you could hang all of them on the wall, because you could get like a conversion kit to hang them that way up and just turn the dial or the keypad around, So and then that hung that way like that. You could easily get this kit to hang them that way. But even then, and I don't remember ever seeing it happen in the field. Apparently, London Transport had a lot on the underground and stuff that were basically like that, because they wanted wall phones and they were too tight to buy proper ones. Right, what else have we been doing over Christmas? Well, we're doing a bit of model railway stuff. As I said earlier, before I got distracted, as I often do, the 3D printer's been at work, and we've been printing out little narrow gauge carriages and things. Now, am I going to be able to show you this? easily, or would it be easier to do it? I tell you what, let's have a go. So I've been printing out things like this. Now this is not stuck together yet, so I'm going to hold it all together properly. But can you see this little box van here? This is a 4mm narrow gauge, so it runs on N-gauge track for the modern railways amongst you. Box van that we've printed out on the 3D printer, and they're pretty good. So we've done a box van, and we've also done a little 3-plank wagon, to go with it. We've also done, this one's probably my favourite, the semi-open coach. If you can see that, can you see that? That's the semi-open coach, similar to things that run on the Festiniog Railway and stuff. It's brilliant, that. And I've had a few inquiries about them, so I've decided we're going to market these as kits, because one of the problems with model railway stuff these days is the price of it. And the price of model railway stuff is absolutely insane these days. Absolutely insane. You know, you buy one wagon or something, it's like 15 quid or something for one wagon. It's mad. So what we're going to do is try marketing these little kits nice and cheaply. So I think we're going to sell these for like £4.50 each. And if you want to have a look, then I have got them on a website, which hopefully, if I do this, you can see here. They're on the Andy's Emporium website, which is where there's some telephone bits and pieces as well on this website. So you can get them from here, and here you can see all three of the kits that we've currently got available, and I am going to add more to it when I get a bit of time to do some more. But I just want to show you a good view of the ones that we've got so far. So this is the 3-plank wagon. So you can hopefully there see a bigger picture of it. I'm just waiting for my monitor to catch up here of the feed that I'm getting back. So there's the 3-plank wagon. That's a 2-piece kit at the moment, although I may end up actually printing that in one piece, because it's such a simple design. That is, might end up doing that in one piece, but at the moment it's in 2 pieces like that. It comes in 2 pieces that way, and it fits Graham Farish N-gauge coach wheels. And you can buy a packet of, I think it's 10 axles of those wheels for about 10 or 11 quid from most model shops and things, and they just pop in. You'll see there's little holes in the back of the axle boxes there that the ends pop into, and they run really well. I did a lot of tweaking of it to get it to run nicely, you know. It's plastic bearings, but I made them exactly the right size, so when you get the wheels in, they run absolutely perfectly pinpoint. Really, really good. Here's the coach when it comes up. no, sorry, not the coach, the box van. Again, there's a few gaps in it because it's just dry assembled there. It's just sort of stacked together for the photograph. There's the little box van. Again, it's £4.50 if you want one of those. And that comes in a kit that looks like that, in 3 pieces. And then my personal favourite is the open coach that looks like that, and it comes in a kit that looks like that. So that's the open coach, and all these are available from the address that you can see on the bottom of the screen right now, https://andysemporium.copress.net. How cool is that? In fact, I'm looking to make sure that yeah, that's it. So there they are. There's the things that you can get from us there, in the kit. The old narrow gauge railway. I'm going to do some standard gauge stuff as well, and see what we can do. So I'm just going to put these back over here. I'm getting absolutely covered in stuff at the moment. So the old 3D printer is going to be whirring away like crazy over the next few weeks. So unfortunately I can only ship them to the UK at the moment because I haven't set up the shipping for them to go anywhere other than the UK at the minute. But if anybody who is outside the UK wants any, then get in touch with me. Drop me an email or drop me a contact form on the Andy's Shed website, and we'll figure it out for wherever you are in the world, because shipping is a nightmarish thing to sort out. It really is. Right, what's everybody been up to in the chat? Fat Hobbit says, I think the kits will be a good line for you. The kits sold generally are just ridiculously expensive. They assume we all have very deep pockets. Yeah, that's what I think as well, Fat Hobbit. They are just too expensive for what they are these days. They really are. A bit of plastic and it's like 15-20 quid. It's insane. Dominic says, I agree. Things like £200 for a ready-to-run 009 L&B Loco is crazy. Yeah, it is. It's just mental. Chris says, I've got 00 gauge signal lever frames for my model today. Are you 00 gauge over there then, Chris? I don't know what they have in Australia. Do they have 00 or do they have HO? Because there's a half millimetre difference or something, isn't it, in the scale? HO's 3.5 millimetres to the foot and 00's 4 millimetres to the foot. And I know all Europe uses HO and America uses HO. So what does Australia use? Is Australia with the Brits and 00? Father says, a good idea to diversify business. If you advertised at one of the model railway dues at Birmingham or Peterborough Showground, you would get a lot of business. Yeah, possibly. If we ever have model railway exhibitions again, which we might not, the way things are going at the moment. Yeah. I mean, I know people are saying, oh yeah, we're going to be having exhibitions and stuff again and the world will be back to normal by Easter and that, but you know something? I don't think it will. Because I've worked out how many people they've got to vaccinate and how much vaccine they've got and how long it's taking them to do it, and you know something? I don't think 1/10 of the population will be vaccinated by Easter. So yeah, I hope I'm wrong, but I've got a horrible feeling I won't be. So that's what I've been up to over Christmas. Right, I'm back up again. At least I think I'm back up again. Hello, everybody. I've had to swap to a mobile phone because the computer died again, which I'm now had to shut down and reboot and log back into. But hopefully everybody is still here. Right, I'm just catching up on the chat, what's happened there while it's all gone a bit wrong. What's everybody saying? Yeah, Christopher says the stream stopped. Yeah, it did. The computer crashed out. It's because I'll tell you what it is. It's because I tried to do the thing where I was using the browser to show you that web page and that, and all at the same time, and of course it died. So yeah, it all went a bit wrong there. Right, what's everybody saying in the chat? This is why I have to look at it now on the screen. The stream is back. Dominic thinks. Yeah, we should be back on now. I'm hoping we're back on anyway. Christopher says OO gauge and HO gauge model railway in Australia. So you have both there then. Cool. He also says he was operating his wooden switchboard today when his mum was using the 162 phone to make calls on the exchange. He had to put call through it like the operator did. Nice. Dominic says, I noticed there's this nifty handset icon which has an uncanny resemblance to a 700 series handset. Very, very true. Right, what's everybody else saying? Dominic says, I'd like to visit Worley exhibition again. This is the Model Railway exhibition if I get a chance. In fact, Hobbit says, Worley is a great show. I also like Alexandra Palace and Peterborough. You see some wonderful layouts. Yeah, you do. You also used to get a very good one at Doncaster in about February time. It used to be really good, and in recent years it's gone really, really, really downhill. Nowhere near the amount of stuff there used to be. I don't know what's happened to it. It's done in association with one of the magazines. It used to be a 2 or 3 day event, and you needed to go for 2 or 3 days to see everything. But now it's just ridiculous. You know, you go, 2 hours is enough. 2 hours is more than enough. You can have a cup of tea in that 2 hours as well. You know, it's really not very good at all. So yeah, I'm not overly impressed with that one. Fat Orbit says, I agree about the vaccine in the UK. My neighbour is a doctor and has volunteered to vaccinate people, but was told she had to do anti-radicalisation training first, which will take months. What's anti-radicalisation training? Is your neighbour an Indian doctor or something, like a Muslim doctor or something? They're worried that your neighbour might be a terrorist or something like that. Seems a bit odd. Tell you, the one thing I know about this coronavirus thing, and I've said to everybody, there is something about it that they are not telling us, and I can't quite work out what it is. I know what some of the things are that they're not telling you, or that they're only releasing, then trying to brush under the carpet. I know what some of it is. One of the things that they're not telling you is a lot of the people are asymptomatic, and they say it's 1 in 3, but actually it's up to 70% of people are asymptomatic with it. Another thing that they're not telling you is
If you're black, you are twice as likely to catch the virus as a white person. If you are Asian, you're 1.5 times as likely to catch the virus as a white person. Now, what that means to me is when you're walking down the street, if there's a black person walking down that side of the road and there's a white person walking down that side of the road, walk on the side with the white person because they're only half as likely to have the virus. It sounds racist, I know, but perhaps this virus is racist and you have to think of it that way. Christopher 2000 says, I've been having lots of playing with the new B-Class locomotives with sound. I got the real B-Class. Started in 1952 in Victoria Railway. Cool. I don't do all these sound fitted models and that. All this business with these DCC models and that, I've had no end of trouble with it, so I've gone back to the old-fashioned way of doing it and breaking all the track up into sections and switches and things rather than all this DCC, because the DCC just doesn't work with older models, because the older models that you get require too many amps to work and they end up frying the little DCC chips. So DCC is fine with modern models, but with older models it doesn't work. Right, are we anything like, are we actually back on? I think we are, but I'll just check. Just bear with me a minute. And we'll see if we're anywhere like live. Just a sec. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we are live, it says. Cool, that's good. Marvellous, you live long enough, you see everything. Although as I'm sitting here looking at it, I'm not entirely convinced that we are, but yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're continuing. Right, I can read off that screen there now. Oh, Michael TC, hello Michael. Fat Hobbit says no. His neighbour is white British, but she was told she had to do it. Anti-radicalisation training. What do they think she might be radically doing? Work. That's a bit radical, isn't it? Christopher says, DCC modern railway controllers are so expensive. It costs me $400 for DCC controllers for my model railway. Yeah, they are expensive, and then they don't work half the time as well. You know, they don't work with certain chips. Then you have to buy the blooming chips that go in the models that are also expensive. And then I say the old models burn the chips out because they demand too much power, and the chips can't handle the 2 or 3 amps that the model needs to get going. So it's that's a big problem with DCC, and it's why I looked at it and I tried it and didn't adopt it, for that reason, that I was having all this bother with DCC. But anyway, now I'm on this phone. I can show you now. I'm on here, a bit closer. These models that we've been doing. I can show you a better picture of them now. So here's another van that I did, a different sort of van, but this didn't work very well. You can see a lot of layer lines in that. If you look there, if the damn thing will focus. Come on, focus. You can see a lot of layer lines in that one. But here's the open coach again, which I think is my favourite so far. So I'll have to finish some of these off. I'll have to stick them together and paint them and finich them off, and have a look what the finished product looks like. And just one thing on my ever-growing list of things to do. Because there's just always a list of things to do here. It's ridiculous. Right, anyway, I think that is about a wrap for today. Thanks for watching this first show of the new year, and as I said before, Happy New Year to everyone. We are back now. This is season 8, so we will be back again next week around about the same time, when I'm going to be looking inside some of these phones, particularly inside this one, and showing you the little battery thing that's in there, and maybe trying to get it out to replace the battery to get this working, because I've been asked about these before with the batteries in, so we'll have a little look at that possibly next week, and see how we go from there. So thanks to everybody for watching today. Remember, you can catch up with us on the website andyshed.corepress.net, and if you want to buy anything out of that shop, any telephone spares or the little model kits and that, it's all a bit messed up at the minute because by messed up I mean it's not in order at the moment, because we're trying to sort it all out, but you can go to the shop anyway and find all the stuff there, and we'll get it into some semblance of order hopefully as the week progresses. The shop is at andysemporium.corepress.net, and watch the stream back and you'll see it on the bottom of the caption of the stream anyway there. Okay, so thanks very much for watching. Until next week, everybody, around about the same time, 6 o'clock, have a cracking week ahead, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.